No one else is planning retirement my way. My plan involves taking your Social Security at 62 and then using that money to pay down all or at least most of your debts or my debts until I'm fully retired. And what do I mean by that? Currently, the store that I work at, I just work part-time because my part-time income pays the bills that I have. Now, I don't know if that's the same for you. If your job is full-time but you're keeping yourself above water, keeping your head above water and paying all your bills and not falling behind, then that's what you need to do while you're executing this plan. I've looked and researched. I've been trying to look on YouTube. I've been trying to Google stuff without giving it away. But I've been trying to find anybody else that's talking about a plan like this one. And I do know that I had mentioned in a previous video that Dave Ramsey had mentioned something that touched on this idea. But it was like a one-liner. It's not something that he went after and has only talked about this idea. My name is Brian James, and welcome to my channel, Pre-Retirement Planning Without Savings, where I will be discussing all things that have to do with preparing to collect retirement at 62 and fully retiring by 65 and everything in between. Now, your date to retire might be sooner or later than 65. It just depends on how much debts you have to pay off and how long it's going to take. So let's give thanks for everything to God the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, as said in Ephesians 5:20 and LT. Now, everything I talk about, you can do. You can plan to do, but I'm not telling you to do it. But I'm going to do it. So like I said, you'll apply for Social Security 3 months before you get to your 62nd birthday. And then you'll get your first check the month after your 62nd birthday. And then you can immediately start this plan. I did say in an earlier video that you should build up your emergency fund first, but you could start paying off your debts immediately, and then the money that you're saving from not making that payment or later on those payments, but you can use that money to build up your emergency fund. I can't talk today. The key is to keep doing what you're doing. Keep paying your bills, keep going to work, just keep doing what you're doing now, once you retire, the way you're doing it now. Keep all your bills paid and use your Social Security to pay down your debts. Now start with the smallest debts and work your way up to the biggest ones. That way you eliminate those payments first. And you have to estimate what your credit cards will be in the future based on your current spending habits. Don't guess though. Create a baseline. For example, get out your last 3 credit card statements for each credit card. Don't worry if the dates don't match up exactly. You're just looking for the last 3 consecutive statements for the last 3 months. And then pick one set of those credit card balances, say for Discover Card. And look at the total balance due on each so you can get an idea of how it progresses each month as it goes along. Look on the back of the statement and find the interest that you've paid each month. And then look at the payments that you actually made. Did you pay the minimum, or are you paying extra when you make the payments? Just try and figure out what you've been doing. And then look at your new spending. And then you want to try and figure out if your new spending outweighs how much you're paying, because that's just going to keep making your balances grow. So subtract the interest from the payment made each month, and that's the true amount that's going to knock down your debt. So if your payment is 80 and the interest is 30, then you're only knocking down your debt by $50 each month. Then subtract that total from the new spending and do that for each statement. And after you get all those balances figured out, add them all together and then divide by 3, and that is your baseline spending for that credit card. And then do that for all your credit cards. Then you want to figure out how many months you have between now and when you turn 62. Now, I didn't say years, I said months. So, I don't know, I'm just going to guess. Say it's 52 months. I have no idea. But just try and figure out how many months and then multiply that by your baseline number. And that should give you, and then you want to add that to the total balance that you first looked at on your most recent credit card, I would say. And then multiply that by your baseline, and that should give you how much you think you're going to have that you're going to owe, that you're going to have to pay off using your Social Security payment. Google AI might be able to estimate the interest that you're going to accrue on those payments over that amount of time. If you can figure out the wording correctly, it can give you the correct answer. Now, you want to move on to your loans. If you have loan payments, personal loans, maybe a HELOC loan, but most loans will have a breakdown of the payments, the interest, and the balance. So if you get your hands on that, then look at how much you're going to have left to pay when you turn 62. Hopefully it's none, or hopefully you've got it paid off, and then you don't have to worry about it. Now you could probably do the same with the car payment and the mortgage, and you can see how much your total amount is that you're going to have to pay when you turn 62. If it's too high, then either you can take your Social Security payments and maybe pay it down at, a little at a faster clip for however many months or a year or two, whatever. It depends on what your retirement date that you choose is going to be. But the goals are to pay everything off, pay the car off, pay the mortgage off, pay off your credit cards and loans, and be totally debt free. Now you can do this plan as long as you want. You could do it right up until you're 70 if you like working. And actually, after you pay off all your debts, then you can just drop it all into savings. It depends on what the date is that you choose to retire. By my own estimation, I plan to be debt-free and retire by the time I'm 65. And then that will put more of my Social Security back into my pocket where it belongs and remove a huge weight of stress off my shoulders. And now for a disclaimer, I am not a financial planner. I can't give professional or legal advice. I'm not a certified public accountant. I'm not a doctor, nurse, psychiatrist, psychologist, or a scientist in case I talk about any health issues or other topics, etc. I'm just a regular guy who's trying to figure things out as I head into and prepare for retirement, and I want to share my thoughts or things I've learned so that I can help someone else, maybe help you. I hope I can help you. How wonderful to be wise, to analyze and interpret things. Wisdom lights up a person's face, softening its harshness. Ecclesiastes 8:1 NLT. I had a female customer come into my store the other night, and we were talking, and I kind of got the idea that I could tell her about my channel. I haven't really told too many people about it. But we talked about it for a while, and then she left. And then the next time she came in, she said that she thinks that my plan could work for her. And I said, well, aren't you married? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, you don't really need to use my plan, I would imagine. My plan's more for a single person. And she said, oh, no, I think your plan will work good for me. And so, my memory's a little not perfect. If you're listening, don't judge me, this customer. But she was worried that her husband's Social Security might not be enough for her when she retires. Or, if something happens to him and she has to take his retirement, is what I'm trying to say. So then I went home and I thought about it, and I realized, this plan could work well for married couples, where maybe the wife didn't earn as much money as the husband did throughout the years. And why should she wait till she's 65 or 70 to get the bigger check if they're struggling all along with all these debts to pay? So if she just retires at 62 and then takes that money and puts it towards all their debts, which if he passes away are going to be all her debts. So she wants to attack those bills now while she can. And then they can live off his income or his retirement money, maybe their 401ks, whatever they've got going on. They can live off that money while her Social Security is paying off the debts. And so I thought, that's a good thing. That's something that people could plan for. So just take that into consideration. Try and see if it could work out. I may have discussed my plan better in a previous video, how to do it, but I just kind of wanted to talk this time and not be reading a script off the screen so much. Well, I hope I've given you a lot of things to think about and useful information so you can turn things around on your budget and pay off your debts and have smooth sailing for the rest of your retirement. And one more thing, once you've used your Social Security to pay off those pesky credit cards and loans, car payments and mortgage payments, don't start using them again. If you buy another house or a car, pay cash. Pay it off immediately with the money that you get from selling your existing one. And hopefully you've saved some of that money to put back into your savings. Don't get a new mortgage or a car payment. It's just more of a hassle. It's more when things start going wrong in your life and then you have those payments, you're going to be upset. So you're just better off to eliminate them. Cut up the credit cards, except maybe one for true emergencies, and don't take any more loans. And I'm sure you already know, don't do the payday loans, and I don't remember what this new gimmick is where you can buy something and then split it up into 4 payments. Just stay away from all that. Keep yourself free from those obligations so you have all of your own money to spend on yourself. If you can't afford it, you probably don't need it. Again, welcome to Pre-Retirement Planning Without Savings. I'm Brian James, and I'll see you on the next one. Please like, share, subscribe, and please do give me some feedback. I am interested in hearing your thoughts. Bye now.